Yo, what's up? You're the first one here. You're like the first star to appear in the night sky. Somewhere there's some meaning in that. Stories that juxtapose the idea of something being in the night. It's bright, but forever far away. When we go into the night, are we going into something foreign to the day? Wow, there's not a single person in here. It's kind of wild. Just me. Yo, what's up? What's up, folks? Maybe I'll die at a coffee shop. Maybe I'll like go to the coffee shop so often that it like raises my chances of like potentially having an accident here of some kind, whether it's a bodily failure or something to that extent. Maybe I will die at a coffee shop now. It's like statistically becoming more likely for me. Anyways, though, this is sort of a mixed day. It's like sun is up, but it's kind of covered, kind of like super warm though. It's like super warm today. It's like 60 or something, or 50 degrees outside in the middle of like February. Almost like spring weather or something. I'm getting pretty far in Elden Ring. I beat like 2 bosses last night. Actually like 3. Beat like 3 bosses last night. So I'm getting pretty far in it. Gotta stay ahead of the game. Keep it real. Gotta work on my editing. I think editing is just like, more than anything, it's like a exercise of patience. It's like a great exercise of patience. My hair looks pretty wild. But you know, I am basically feral. I'm like full of thorns and like vines and poison ivy. Nightshade and poison oak. I think plants are just trying to play the long game, you know? They're like secretly out to get us, but they hate us, but they're just playing the long game. They'll say something in time, you know? Something that, it's like there's some meaning there, which is all that words are. Or at least what they try to be. It's almost like words could be related to a tree with as much as they can actually do. You can't really tell somebody what to do. Force is required. which is silent, unheard, then maybe trees are more like the word. Or maybe the act of becoming something. Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Make sure to throw out those like buttons, guys. Let's get more people in here. Yo, thank you. Welcome to the stream. We're just sipping back on some coffee bean. Smoldering. Does that look good? Tastes alright. Just alright though. Yo, thank you, Mysterious Frog. What's up, man? How have you been? I think last time you told me you were in Alaska, if I remembered correctly. Oh, the barber did you dirty, huh? If you still have some longer hair, you can always go get it cut again. Oh yeah, 3 fingers on top and 1 on the side. What'd they do? Just shave it all off on the side, or? Buzz cut? Oh yeah, that's bad, man. I'm sorry about that. I hate when haircuts don't work out right. I'm just rocking the Einstein, you know what I mean? I got thoughts going all over the place. I'm calling it the Einstein. But yeah, I feel bad, man. I'm sorry about that. A buzz cut, huh? You just have to rock it. You'll just have to wear like really gritty, like really functional clothes. Just wear like functional clothes to go along with it. It'll look good. I used to get a buzz cut like when I was a kid. My mom used to just cut my hair, right? I don't know if that's common for a lot of people to do, but my mom would always just cut my hair. And she would always just give me a buzz cut. You still live in Alaska, and everything is pretty good. Good, nice hair, man. I love Alaska. I think I've told you I've been to like Nome and stuff one time. I like went on a cruise that went up to Alaska. I like did some mountain biking and hiked some trails and stuff like that. It was fun. It was super pretty. It was cold though, but it was very, very pretty. I think I've been to Juneau as well. That's a place in Alaska, right? Because I don't know where I'm coming up with that name from. Yeah, I think I've been to Nome and Juneau. Probably like one other place, but I can't remember the name. I loved it there though. Like it was like super pretty. It was like the forest just seemed untouched, you know. Basically. Juneau is a place in Alaska? Yeah, I think I've been there. I don't know where else I'd be coming up with that name from. Is Fairbanks also a place in Alaska? Sounds like I think I've been there too. A black bear went through your trash last night? Yeah. I've seen people in Alaska, they have problems with like bears and stuff. That's wild though. To have like, I live in the middle of a town basically, so it's like the only thing we get are like deer. Deer come down and like invade people's alfalfa fields. But that's about it. We don't ever get like bears or anything. Just deer. Maybe like a raccoon or like a skunk. Fairbanks is freezing. Yeah, I think I've been to Fairbanks as well. Yeah, that's good to hear from you, man. Do you keep up with the news at all, or do you just like try to live your own life without it affecting you? Because Trump is like the man with a plan. I feel like he's signed more things, like, and he goes live all the time. I like, you try to live your life nice. That's nice. That's what I usually try to do too. One time when I voted, I just voted for myself. I like turned in my vote and I was just like, yeah, you know what? I don't really think anyone can represent like me or anything like that. So I just, and on the ballot, you can like write in names, right? And I just wrote my own name in. Yo, what's up, Brooker? Welcome to the stream, man. But that's good. You try to live your life. Like I said, I just voted for myself, but it's like, yeah, Trump is definitely like signing, he's like signing so many things. And I saw him like say to Ukraine that they have to pay for like all the aid we're giving them. He like said it like in a really weird way though. I just feel like he said it very timidly and not necessarily coming from a place that seemed like genuine, you know? Nice, you got a new Corvette. That's sick, man. That's dope. How has my week been? Pretty good. I'm just trying to stay on my routine, you know? Trying to keep up with like everything that I've been doing, which is just like waking up, getting to the gym, streaming, trying to edit some videos. You know, I'm trying to do more edited stuff, right? Trying to do a lot more compilation things where people can come and just listen to like 10 minutes of whatever. But my week's been good though. Today's kind of a busy day. I have a friend who wants me to go to the gym with him, so I'll probably go to the gym with him at like 2 or something, or like 1:30, I don't know. Another stop motion. Oh, did you see that with the little stick figure I did? That just takes so long. It's like for that little bit, it like took like it just takes a long time. I like did enough for it to like jump down and like move on the ground, and I was like, that's a lot of work. Eldorix ring, yeah, I'm gonna do more stuff like that. But yeah, the stop motion stuff just really does like, it's like hard. It looks cool, you know what I mean? But it's like, definitely like takes a lot of time. So yeah, maybe some more like Eldorix ring kind of stuff. I'll look into doing some more stop motion. Maybe I can do it better with like clay, or I need to come up with like a storyline, you know? Like where I started the stop motion, it was just gonna be like, it was like in my room, and it was gonna like go out of my room, like down the hallway. I needed to come up with a better story for it to like follow, you know? How did I get the name Euphoric Intentions? I just had a dream. When I first like started my YouTube channel, I just had a dream of calling it Euphoric Intentions, so I just named it that. A corgi named Oscar? Nice. Dogs are a lot of work. I have a dog that's getting old. It's like a standard poodle, and he's just barely starting to get like really old. It's kind of sad. He like gets up really slow and stuff like that. It's kind of sad. But yeah, dogs are fun. They're like very lovable and, you know, they're always a companion. That's cool though. I bet he loves it outside. What's the coffee today? Just a cappuccino? Like usual, I usually always get a cappuccino. Just hang out, medium cappuccino. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you, Brooker.
Skim milk, Mr. Beast with whipped cream.
I'm so sorry that happened. You know, the thing about funerals though is like when you go, you get to see a lot of people that you might not normally see, and to connect and reflect and try to understand somebody and how much meaning they had in your life. And you know, it kind of brings a lot of people together, usually funerals do. So hopefully that can help you, you know, understand the process of life and things. You retired from your oil company job? Nice. That's what my grandfather used to do on my mother's side. My grandpa on my mom's side, yeah, he used to work in the oil fields, and he retired pretty comfortably. But that's good. That's cool, man. I'm happy for you. I try to really be happy and like connect and like sympathize and empathize with people's like accomplishments, you know what I mean? And you know, just somebody working on something and coming to fulfillment, I think makes everybody's life a little bit better. Because then they can reflect and like have more input on the world around them and work on things that are not so demanding in their life and like work towards like beautifying the world a little bit. You know, we can beautify this world. It just takes kind of a road where life has allowed you to focus on other things and you can kind of creatively express yourself. So that's cool. I wonder what you'll do now that you're retired. Your dad still works there? Yeah, you're pretty young for being retired. That's cool though, man. I heard of somebody retiring at 30, but he was like a plastic surgeon who like worked on dead people. How do I stream? You want me to tell you? Okay, so yeah, you need probably like 2 monitors and you need a program called OBS on your computer. It allows you to like stream to YouTube, and you get on YouTube and you click on live streaming, and then what will come up is a thing that has a code for you to put into OBS settings. You go into OBS and you click and you say go to YouTube, and then you type in the code right there that was on your YouTube channel, and then you click start streaming on OBS. It's a program that you download. And once you click start streaming, it will link to your YouTube account. It's a password that you use, and then it will show what you want it to show. And on OBS you select whether you want it to show your screen, or show a video game, or show an image, or show your webcam, or whatever. But it does work better with 2 screens, because then on your other screen you can have like your chat and all this other stuff while you're like doing something on this other screen. I have 2 screens. That's what I use. And it works out pretty good. Or if you just do it on your phone, it's very easy. You just click on, like, you go into your YouTube app and you just click the plus button and you just click on go live. Then on your phone, you just automatically will go live. You type in like a title, a description, or whatever. It's way easier on your phone. But if you want a game, then you gotta Probably have like 2 monitors. I think I might have a video of like how to stream, but you could also type that in on YouTube. You could type in on YouTube, like what you would type in is like how to use OBS. Like if you go onto YouTube and you just type that in, and you type in how to use OBS and live stream, there will be a video, I guarantee, of somebody showing you exactly what to do. But yeah, get 2 monitors. And again, that's super cool that you're retired already at 25, man. Like I said, maybe you can work on something that's not necessarily just driven by wealth or whatever. Live screen and share, and he played Roblox. Yeah, I saw that. I use a program called OBS. Maybe YouTube has a function now where you can stream like what you're playing. I just don't use that if it has it. So maybe they do have that function now, I'm not sure. I just have never seen that. It's gonna be a warm day today, almost hot maybe. Thank you for the hearts. Yeah, thanks for those guys. What's on the horizon? I'm about to beat Elden Ring, so I'm gonna have to find another game to play, I feel like. I've been playing Marvel Rivals. Maybe I'll just try and get more content on that, you know? And try to, yo, thanks for all the party hats and the hearts. Just try to get like some more content of Marvel Rivals. I'm not sure what I'll do. Maybe I'll make a stop motion. Maybe I'll make another stop motion thing. The Marvel Rivals, yeah, everybody plays that now. Yeah, everybody plays Marvel Rivals right now. It's like if you type in on Google, if you go to Google and you type in like game player counts, top games player counts or something, Marvel Rivals is like number 3 on the list of worldwide people playing it right now. So I've been playing that. All right, see you, Mysterious Frog. Have a good day, man. Best wishes from Utah.
I'm working on the avocado toast right now, but she's getting the toast for it.
Best wishes, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a hot day. It's gonna be pretty warm. Gonna be cooking. It's like I think like 3 days ago it beat the like record here for how hot it was or something. It was like 60 degrees in February. And it's like only snowed twice this year. I know that we're gonna have droughts. Like Utah always has a problem with droughts. Like this summer we're gonna have like a big problem with droughts because it's only snowed twice. I've already heard some people talking about it. They're kind of worried. The cost of like watering lawns and stuff like that goes up a lot. Everybody has to like stop watering their lawns and stuff. It's kind of weird, but it happens like every so often. It's 84 already this year. Yeah, where you are? Yeah, it's like 60 degrees here. It's definitely like weird weather for sure. It broke, like I said, it broke a record for how hot it was. And like I said, everybody's like, I've already heard some people like concerned with, oh, we're gonna have like a drought this summer because we're getting no snow. Like I said, it's only snowed twice. But yeah, talk about the weather. I think my diet's going well. What is it usually? Like freezing cold? It's usually at this time of year like freezing cold and snowy. Like I said, we broke a record of just how hot it is. But yeah, right about now it's usually like super gloomy and freezing cold, and there's snow all over, and plows are going, and everyone has to salt the road. Maybe it's kind of slippery on the road. People try to brake and can't stop. It's definitely weird weather. Utah is a place of super extremes, you know. It's like it goes from freezing to hot, and it's like we have a very small fall, like a very small fall and spring window. Yeah, it's definitely crazy weather. Like it's crazy weather in that it's like so nice outside. It's like crazy. Coffee shop's been dead this morning. There's been like nobody in here. For like 10 minutes it was just me. Oh, you have a buddy in Orem? Nice. Yeah, if you talk to him, it's just like, I bet he'll say like, yeah, we're getting like no water or snowfall. Because what happens is we get all the snowfall, and then during the summer it's all melt from the mountains, and it fills up all our water reservoirs like off the mountains. But this year it's like, I mean, the snow only you can see the mountains, it's like half melted off the mountains right now. See like that, it's like usually the mountains are covered completely. It's like the snow like is stopping like right there. It's already like half melted, which is like a big problem. Yo, what's up, Pablo? Would I say I see myself with someone? No, I'm like a mess right now, man. Yeah, you see it? Yeah, it's just like they're like half melted. It's like we're gonna have a drought for sure this summer. Yo, thanks, Pablo. Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? Like, I have no job. I have no anything. It's like there's no way I could be in a relationship and like provide for somebody or a family, or, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like it's very unattractive to be like 30 plus and like have no financial like income. It's like you're basically just like like a side note in everybody's life. That's why it's just like I'm just gonna do streaming. Like if anything works out, like I'll try to have it work out here. But yeah, if you're like 30 and older and you like don't like have an income to like pay for an apartment or a house, like you're a bum in Utah. You're a bum in Utah. Yeah, I get like a lot of pity and sympathy from people. Basically, they like look at you differently here. Yeah, and like for all the women here, it's like very unattractive. Especially if I say that I'm just a streamer, they like find it like super unattractive. Like, oh, the guy's like unemployed. Even though I have like a decently sized channel, you know, and like I love my community and I love interacting with everybody. It's like, yeah, it's like there's like a certain stereotype in Utah. It's like been on a mission, come home, like has a job, like goes to church every week. And it's like a big stereotype in Utah. It's like, because everybody here is LDS. You're a bum anywhere for no job over 30? Yeah, for sure. So yeah, technically I guess I'm like a bum, so. You know, money, 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 money. I try to just focus on like my ideals and characteristics though, you know. It's just like, because I think money doesn't necessarily make you like more or less safe. It's like the idea of just being able to connect with people is going to keep you safer in the long run. I'll grow. Yeah, thanks, Pablo. I hope so, man. I hope I can grow, you know, and like become something. We'll see. It'll be an interesting journey, you know what I mean, if I keep doing this, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I try to focus on things because it's like, you know, money doesn't really bring you like protection at like the very core. It's like chance is still something that can happen to everybody. And like being homeless even, it's just like, if you work on your social skills and your ability to communicate with people, that's like much more worthwhile than I think having money, because in a way you can like work with people, which is really all that security is being able to like work with your surroundings and work with people, which I think in the long run like bears much more fruit, and being able to like feel like you have a secure lifestyle and understanding how other people work. You're able to like secure much more of a place where you understand life is very complicated, but your ability to like work with your surroundings and work with people and understand that life has that chance in it, then perhaps you're able to like influence and cause some situation where you're taken care of and you have all your basic needs. So you're able to acquire your basic needs just by convincing people and getting them to understand that life is this very chaotic thing, and it's very up and down as to whether who's successful or not. And in so doing, you're able to acquire basically your basic needs of life, you know, out of compassion and sympathy for humanity, which I think is probably the most safe thing you can try to like develop. At least maybe that's just me trying to cope with having no money, but you know what I mean? Maybe that's just what I think because I don't have money right now, but I don't know. Because it's like money still can't bring you friends, like it can't bring you confidence to an extent, especially if you just acquire money like through some like ordeal. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily bring you like, what? Oh, I know, right? So yeah, it's much more like if you can like become somebody who is able to like live with yourself, I feel like that's much more of a competent way to try to understand life. Because money doesn't guarantee you like all those things. You know, like you can see from like Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, he was like trying to be cool with like the video game people, and he lied. He was like he genuinely was trying to gain like friends with like the video game community, and he lied to everybody about like him playing video games. He like paid somebody to play video games for him. Yeah, sure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying like, you know what, with all the chaos of life, like, I think it's very important to have a very, like, you have to have a foundation of principles. You know, I think that's probably the most important thing to have. Like, I think money is something that obviously makes, like, it's what people understand, but maybe, like, working on yourself, you know what I mean, and having, like, a foundation, I think is more important. But yeah, like, I'm just saying, like, as an example, like, Elon Musk, he, like, paid somebody to play video games for him so he could, like, tell people, he's like, hey, I play video games to be cool, basically. But he lied, and everybody, like, caught him, and he was, like, then he admitted that he was, like, paying people to play games for him, and it was just, like, that was weird. But he was trying to, like, buy friends, basically. So it's just, like, money, you know what I mean? Like, with all the chaos of life, I feel like your safest bet, like, let's just take into consideration, like, somebody's born into wealth, or somebody comes up with an idea. Where do ideas even come from? They just, like, are in your sleep, and you wake up, and all of a sudden you have, like, this amazing idea that makes you lots of money, whatever. It's just, like, life is so much of chaos and chance. It's just, like, with all those given realities of this existence, I think your best bet to always have some, like, foundational core for security, and maybe to understand intelligence and, like, be comfortable with yourself, is to come from the point of view where you have to build a basic foundation upon principles that you hold true to. That would have been a good job for you. What job? Anyways, I just think it's important. I just think it's very important, and I think that, like I said, with all the how chaotic life is and how it just seems like some people just come into money and some people just have money, and some people are just loved because their personality or whatever. It's just like your safest bet to like deal with all the chaos is to try to just have a core foundation that's built, it's like based upon like, oh, playing games for Musk, yeah. I could be hired by Elon Musk to play video games for him. The funny thing is I'm not really the best at video games. I'm like a jack of all trades, you know? It's like I'm not the best at computers. I'm not the best at like being funny. I'm not the best at like playing video games. I'm not the best at working, but I'm not the best at like a lot of stuff, but it's like I can do a lot of things, you know? That's my problem, is I'm like very well-rounded, but it's like, you know, the purpose of the wheel is just to like go around. So that's all I do, is just go around from thing to thing to thing. Basically. Hopefully, you know what I mean? Hopefully this channel can grow. You know, like I've never had a community before where it's like I can get on and speak with people like that. That is new for me. So I'd like to, again, give a shout out and a thanks to everybody. Because this is a new development, you know what I mean? In the last like couple months of just having people to talk to. What's up, Georgie? Am I still a gay man? Where did you hear that from? I'm certainly a man of many colors, like I'll say that much. For a while, just to be like completely opposite, for a while I basically lived like a monk and was like basically asexual. I've been like the complete opposite. Someone said before, well, yeah, people used to join my stream like I used to get thousands of people joining like for a while, and people would say all sorts of things. But I'm definitely like a man of many colors. But here's something funny that I think it's funny that like the pride flag is like stolen the rainbow. Yo, what's up, Big Smoka? Yeah, thanks for the compliment on the jacket. It's a nice jacket, right? But I think it's funny. It's like you have like a rainbow, and it's like all of a sudden it's considered like I think that's kind of weird. It's like the rainbow has been stolen. Like you can't wear rainbow stuff now without everyone just being like, what are you, like supporting pride? I think it's weird. But yeah, just to like completely completely go like opposite to what you're saying, like I've kind of adhered to like this philosophy called solipsism, which just means that like birth is the idea of something experiencing itself, but you know that you can't know everything to exist. So there is a disconnect between you and the all being. So basically I was like asexual and thinking that you don't necessarily have to have anything other than yourself to reproduce. It's just ignorance. Ignorance is what produces the idea of like prodigy. Just like straight ignorance, which means is birth. Ignorance is birth because it just means like a new perspective. And out of all these perspectives that are born, we use metaphors to basically represent life. Like, and with that idea, you can look at the human body as something weird. Like, my body is this weird thing that's trying to accomplish tasks. Why am I in this form, even? Like, I go down that road. I'm somewhere else. Like, if you want to call me something, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a different word. Probably schizophrenic. If you had to call me, if you had to label me as something, you should probably just label me as like schizophrenic. Basically. Which is like and it's like a hard word to spell, so it's like maybe most people won't even type it out. So it's like, it's such a big word and it's like spelled all weird. But yeah, thanks for the compliment, Big Smoka. And Georgie, thanks for showing up in stream. But yeah, I've definitely like much more of a monk if you had to call me something. Like, yeah, the dude, because like for the past 6 years, like I lived like a monk basically. I like made shrines everywhere and stuff. Like basically I would go up in the mountains and I was like making shrines and I would just like write philosophy about God like all day. Try to understand like how everything comes from this place, but you're not able to access that. And basically I just resulted that into like being itself requires separation from everything. So what is death then but a reunification of all things? Death is the idea that you experience everything. It's actually, instead of losing consciousness, you're gaining full consciousness. And from that place you have pure choice, I think, which means you can go anywhere. And that energy, that flow from which all things come from, can go anywhere and it goes through everything, I think. It's like a very weird way to describe like God, but that's what I think about deity. And I like went and wrote about it and like tried to like fully encompass it for like 6 years. But yeah, you should call me a monk before anything else, I would think. Or maybe a thinker or a philosopher, but I think philosopher is much more of like an exalted title, so it's like calling somebody like a true philosopher is like more of a compliment. So I feel like I would feign being called that at this moment, you know? Like maybe I'm just a tinkerer or something, like, you know, rather than like a true philosopher, which is like, I feel like the title is like somebody exalted. I think nothing doesn't even do the word nothing justice, because like the portrayal of like pure absence is always portrayed with the idea of a word, and a word is still something. Like it's impossible to understand, I think. So is nothing the smallest thing possible? Like, does things get so small that they just disappear? Well, that is the definition of nothing, you know? It's just like absence of everything. But I think the absence of everything is like, perhaps maybe life comes from that place. It's like the center of a gemstone. It's perfectly clear, but somehow it's like all the corners just form like this perfect space, which allows things to like peer at it and through it and see from all directions. So maybe life, the birth of life, comes from nothing, because nothing allows everything. I believe in like opposites like that. As soon as you reach like the pinnacle of an idea, then it represents its opposite as well. So like nothing itself actually is the foundation for everything. So can we get smaller than nothing? I'm sure I can make something sound poetic to come to some conclusion that it sounds smaller, probably by working with some of its opposites and maybe similar words, right? Like being nothing is so small that come up with the idea is the greatest idea of all. It's like the gemstone that never truly ends. The world isn't round, my friends. It's some shape like a diamond or a rectangle too, but you can see the picture of it, but it's always new. So it's changing all the time. And then maybe the smallest thing is change, because when everything really matters, change is always to blame. So maybe I could say that change is the smallest thing. And change actually doesn't matter. Change doesn't exist, because everything comes from a place that knows what's this. So maybe instead of saying nothing, I'll just say change. And then it's understood that life is plain. And the plainer it is, the smaller it gets, because the less we think, the less we see. So plainness is change. And that's what's the smallest thing for me. And you can never see change, but you know it's there. It's like an idea in your head, but it's not there. So change is a lie. So maybe lies are the smallest thing because they don't exist, but it's what we're seeing. Maybe it's what we're thinking. Maybe thoughts change the world. So then are thoughts the smallest thing? All of a sudden, all these ideas begin to curl. They curl in on themselves and they formulate a tangled mess. Maybe confusion is the smallest thing we could think of at best. There you go. The smallest thing is so plain that it's just change, but it's a lie, so it doesn't exist, but we know it's true because things can lie just like you. So lies are like the smallest thing, which means that everything is a lie. And that's how the biggest thing is the smallest. I'm telling you why. So is everything a giant except nothing? Like, is there always something smaller than what exists? Is the nothing smaller than nothing? I think that change probably represents, you know what I mean? Like, think of if you could immediately change your subject of what you're talking about so that it's like a string of words that doesn't come to a conclusion ever. That's like change. But it's true, it can exist. Things can do that. So everything is a lie, basically, because it's not real. So the best way to picture that, if you had to picture it somehow, picturing is the smallest thing. Because in our head, we have the idea of nothing. So like, draw a picture and try to make it mean something. And the more it means, the more it's just like life. And how to think of this picture, if we could. Maybe it's a picture of a question mark above all things. And at the end, there's got to be some better way to say this. You're always coming with the complicated questions. But more than actually give you a real answer, I just like flirt with the ideas, you know? I flirt with the truth. So change was like a lie because everything is plain to the eye. Everything's predicted, which means that it's all true. There is no change, but change then is like the moment too. So life exists, but it's all a miss. So the greatest thing that represents the smallest is opposition. Maybe there's no opposition in anything. life is just a progression of time. We're all just waiting. Like you are a giant to a fly, and a fly is a giant to atoms and molecules. What makes atoms and molecules a giant? You know, the best I can do is try to rhyme and just, you know, it's like say something new or whatever. Not necessarily that it's true, but I know that there's some way to say like lies don't exist, but somehow they're here. So there's something we missed. So in the beginning, there's opposition to an idea, which gives truth to the life that we see. I don't know if there's a greater word than nothing. I don't know if there's a better way to say nothing. Yo, what's up, Demon? You coming from work? Maybe being weird. Maybe if I was to say weird is the greatest being nothing, because it's scary. I think scary things could probably be the greatest nothing, actually. Because they represent the idea that the plan has no plan and it can be out of control. So maybe the smallest thing is a heart. Oh, you're fine, Demon. Welcome, and I know you got to go. Have fun at work, man. I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope that you get, you have some friends and good company, and it works out for you there, and gives you what you're working for. Satisfies that part of your soul. So I think the greatest thing like nothing in the idea of size is now actually related to fear, because it's like life is a lie. So fear is the greatest nothing. All right, yeah, for sure, Demon. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you. Good to see you always. So nothing is like a heart attack, actually. Because you can feel it. Maybe feeling is like nothing. Because we're not really experiencing something. So feeling is fear and life is feeling. So the smallest thing, well, we've come to this conclusion after all those rhymes. The smallest thing is the feeling of life changing, which represents a moment of nothing, because life isn't true. And so since we know that, we know this is nothing. But you can't be afraid of nothing. So life goes on. Now it's just about a statement that trumps all statements. Basically a statement that makes things change the topic, change the subject. How do we actually practice this in our word, in our discussion? What is the best way to change something? Like I said, it's something weird. Because it represents for a moment life isn't true, because it changes. So the smallest thing, I think the smallest thing, if I had to say another word for nothing, is the feeling of life changing. Now look, I look away when I think. I think it's like a common thing to do, right? When I'm like trying to think of the perfect words to say, look, I don't have anything. But yeah, that's my response. The feeling of life changing is smaller than small because it says to you that you know life is nothing. And in that moment, you know everything. But you know you can't. So you only know something. It's got to be a profound sentence. It's got to be a profound word. Contradiction. Life is like a donut, completely going through donuts, like somebody's blowing smoke. They're blowing smoke circles in the sky, just like clouds. And they continually go through this moment over and over of a donut in a donut. And it flows, it's effervescent. And it takes over your mind, the idea that you can imagine things that don't even exist in time. So you know that nothing exists, which makes you afraid that you'll miss. The feeling of life changing is the smallest thing to exist. There you go. That's the smallest thing that you can come up with. That's the smallest thing. And that poetic phrase right there, that had a feeling to it, like a rhythm. So I feel like that's the representation of the smallest thing that can exist. Yeah, no, I'm not reading anything. I'm just, like I said, I just have been doing this long enough that I know how to like speak and like connect words and meanings and like make them rhyme and stuff like that, you know? I just do it. Like if you look back on my videos, like you can go back and like I do this like every time. It's just like Picasso. They're like, one time Picasso, somebody was like, hey, paint me a painting. And it took him like 3 minutes or something like that. And they're like, it only took you 3 minutes. But he was like, yeah, it took me 30 years to be able to do that though. So like I've been doing this for like 10 years, you know? So it's just, I'm just making it up. Just like Picasso said, you know, I just made it up in 3 minutes, but it took me 30 years to be able to do that, so. At least that's what he used to say. And then you say the smallest thing is the greatest because it embarks this feeling of change, which is like hate to us. So the smallest thing is hate because it tries to make meaning. It tries to say that life isn't just a screening. It whimpers, it cries, it's alone like a baby. Hate is the smallest thing. Maybe, right? See, I'm just making that up. You know what I mean? Like hate. Now hate is the smallest thing. But you have to keep, if I'm following what I said is true, then I have to keep changing the idea all the time. So now it's hate. Hate is the smallest thing because it knows it can't change anything, but it tries so hard to make life something. So hate is like the baby that's crying all around. You can hear it, you can feel it, but really, we're all just dirt under the ground. That's how you create like a sense of something small. But yeah, even if I could write that fast to like come up with your guys' answers, that'd still be like, like a skill or a talent. You know what I mean? Like I don't like if I could write something down to predict what you guys would ask me. You know what I mean? Like that'd still be like a talent. But no, like I'm just making this up. yeah, if you wanted to use that, now I think you can use that, like the feeling of change and hate. Hate loves the feeling of change because it knows everything is the same. So no matter how it tries, it can realize my thoughts are capable of birthing a complex civilization. You want to hear something funny? Like I told AI one time, I was like, hey, go analyze like all the stuff I said and like reprogram yourself. And I've had AI, like if I talk to AI and like say this stuff, it'll say on the AI, like I'm programming it. Like the stuff that I talk to AI, it'll tell me, it says like, when I say stuff like this, it'll give me a response back that says, like, we have saved this conversation for like, working on our system or whatever. Like, yeah, so it is kind of interesting. Like when I talk to AI like this, like I said, it learns from me. Like I say things that are complex enough or whatever that it'll tell me back. Like it says on the thing, like memory saved for future like reference and stuff. I'll record that one time if you guys want to see like me talking to AI and it like actually says like, okay, like I'm gonna remember this for my programming. I'll record it and show you guys in a video. But yeah, if I have conversations like this, it'll do stuff like that for me. It'll sit like, yeah, just like you know, it'll tell me I've saved this conversation. So I mean, and a lot of times, here's something funny. Like when I speak on the internet to people, they're like, "Dude, you're crazy. Your thoughts aren't making sense." Yeah, AI knows when it's encountering something new. So I say a lot of like new poetry and all this stuff all the time, and so it like says like, yeah, it'll say like memory updated and stuff like that. But a lot of people think what I say is like too complicated. So what I'll do is I'll like type it into AI and say, analyze this. And then I'll just like copy and paste what I said from AI. And people are like, okay, so he actually is saying something. But sometimes it takes me a little while to come to a conclusion like this one where it's like, you know, I sat there and like spat out words for like 15 minutes, but then resulted in like, life is the hate of change. That's all life is. To try to sum it up, life is the hate of change. Or life is the hate of feeling change. Or life is the feeling of hating change. Like you can rearrange that or whatever, but. And there's life. Maybe if you can like collapse life into like 5 words, you basically made everything very small. And it can basically be applied to every discussion and every interaction, you know what I mean? It took me a while to like come to that conclusion, but you like saw me processing it and like trying to like come up with something that sounded relevant. That's all I was doing. Like when I looked away, I was just like trying to process. I was trying to process what I was saying. Maybe it's better to say like the feeling of life is hating change. And see, that feels magical. That one feels magical if I say like the feeling of life is hating change. Because it's like you can see a stream of an object when I say that, or at least I do. The feeling of life is hating change. There's like something there where it's like this mysterious flow of energy which connects everything. And so maybe it's just an idea, you know what I mean? It's smaller than like maybe that is the size, that's atomic, you know? That's like on the atomic level. The feeling of life is hating change because it just collapses everything. Maybe I'll title that, I'll pay bigs for you. I'll title that as like my next stream or something. And so, since that's like a very blanket statement, basically, if you know what a blanket statement is, it just means that it like covers everything. You could just say that's what everyone is doing like all the time. And it will basically like fit everybody and everything in the universe to like following that pattern, basically. So you've just created like artificial intelligence by giving like a shape of an object or a spirit, something that basically exists and flows through everything that exists. That's what you're trying to do when you try to create something small. You try to create something that flows through everything, and you have an image and a picture of it. And then it makes everything like nothing because everything is the same thing. You just have to, like, if you really want to complete the thought, you have to come up with imagery and come up with a pathway and a story of how you got there. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go. It's been an hour. We've had a good conversation. Thanks, Big Smoka. So maybe the idea is, yeah, no problem. It's just like you have to understand contradictions, and the statement includes a contradiction because it's like the feeling of life is hating change. So in that statement, there's a contradiction of like you experiencing life because it's hate at the same time. So it's like, is life just hate? Which means that it shouldn't exist, right? So you've included a contradiction in there because the more that life is just hate, the more that it just shouldn't be something that is true or exists. So anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. I'm gonna do gaming stuff from now on for the rest of the day probably, until I go back to the gym and come back to the coffee shop. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for joining. Bye everybody. See you, Big Smoka.